Good morning, people. I'm even laughing at my own jokes at the moment. It's not even a joke. Sorry. Good morning, folks. How you doing? It's Des Cattys, and it's another tale from the shed. Oh God. Like, I think I'm losing the plot at the moment. You think? I don't know. Sorry. Oh no. I'm having one of them ones. Anyway, good morning. How you doing, folks? Des Cattys, another tale from the shed. And how you all doing? How you all coping? Have you all had a night out in your back gardens, in your teepees and your tarps and your tents and all that sort of stuff? I managed to pop out yesterday. Went for a little stealth camp. Fortunate enough, I don't walk past many people, so I live in the back of beyond in a way, so it was actually quite nice to sort of just a little bit of a woodland near me, and I literally went over there and just had took the dog with me and had a little bit of a stroll. I've actually got a video loading up as I talk on here, so that'll be up next before this next episode of Tales from the Shed. So yeah, so I've literally got a mug on the go, get some hot water on, and I'm actually going to have a cup of Darjeeling coffee this morning. So Barney, go and do one, son. I'm drinking some coffee, mate. So did you not like that new look? It was kind of a bit like rave meets the country gentry meets steampunk with the glasses. You know what I mean? You know what? I'll tell you what, right? It's how I rotate on an axis. I'll tell you, it beggars belief, doesn't it? You know how I sort of, the excitement that I bring into people's lives and comedy and entertainment. It's it's astounding, isn't it? I mean, it's all right. I don't want any sort of praise for it or anything else. You know what I mean? I mean, if you want to, then I don't mind. But I'm not. You know where I'm coming from, don't you? You know where I'm coming from. And if you want to send me some comments and some, like some money and things like that, just to say because you appreciate what I'm doing and the hard work that I'm putting in. No, I don't want it. But if you want my PayPal account and my bank details, I can give them to you privately. If you want me to sort something out, you know what I mean? But if not, I'm not. We're still friends. Yeah, we're still friends, us people. All right. Ooh. So, right, going to mix it up a bit today, and mate Stuart, he put a comment on me on one of my recent Tales from the Shed videos, and he said, would it be a good idea, or maybe just a suggestion to sort of share with you folks, some little paracord projects. Now, if you look at my Capilka, I've actually got a what I call a twisted cobra stitch on there, all right, which is obviously paracord. And then you've got the other ones, which is kind of like your single cobra stitch, which is basically what's akin to these sort of paracord bracelets. Now, these paracord bracelets I made ages ago. These are what I used to sell at the gathering. I think I was one of the first people to be selling these at the wilderness gathering, and all of a sudden everyone else jumped on the bandwagon. But anyway, that was some time ago, and I've still got bracelets left. But if you look closely, that's a single cobra stitch. All right, and then on my cup, for example, if you look closely there, it's got the twist in it. All right, now Stuart had some paracord, or I had some paracord, I can't remember, it was last year, and he asked me if I would put some on his Capilka, which I obviously did. Now, another one that you can do as well, I mean, I literally, because I'm not sure, I'm actually going to do a demonstration on how to make one. You know, again, there's 1001 videos on there if you want to hunt them out. But if you want to kill two birds with one stone and have a bit of entertainment value from me, and then you know, I can show you how to make one of these twisted paracord little accessory loops, if you like. If you want to attach it to a zip, or if you want to put it onto a, you know, a zip, a key ring, you know, a pouch, zip, whatever, onto your cup, spoon, then you can make something like this. And this literally is just literally what I've done with that one is it was just a piece of paracord, and I just started making the little twist, and then when it ran out I cut it, burnt off the ends, melted it together, and then that is one that goes onto my folder cup. Alright, I've got a new orange one as well now, so I'm going to be able to attach one onto there. So what I've done is I've got some paracord. Okay, I'm going to go off for a minute. I'm going to enjoy a cup of tea and one of those nasty things that you suck in with smoke, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do a twisted cobra stitch. How's that? Alright, give you a little job to do, you know, during these you know, while you're at home. Alright, okay. Right, so I'll come back in a short while, folks. Rosie's joined me today. I've got my sleeping bag folded behind me, so she's sorry for the sunlight, so she's just she's come in for a little sit down. In you go. Hey? No? Alright. I'm really excited. I've just had my first voice message from a guy called David Jobson on my podcast, and thank you, David, much appreciated, my friend. You're the first one to comment on my podcast, so deeply appreciated, mate. Kind words, and to the point, buddy, and thanks for watching, mate. Keep it up. Thanks for the support, buddy. You know what, the dog, I've left my sleeping bag rolled out in the back there, just on the toolbox, so it's nice and flat for her to sit on. I stand up and she wants to get on my seat. Now, talk about fucking jumping your grave. They make you laugh, don't they, dogs, sometimes? It's not like it's uncomfortable where she's sitting, cheeky bugger. Anyway, right, so we crack on with the cobra twist. Right, so obviously what you need is some paracord. Lengthwise, it's up to you. You know, there are some videos on YouTube that will tell you, or there's websites that will show you how to work out the length of material, the length of paracord that you'll need to, say, make a bracelet. Now, normally if I was making bracelets, I normally use about 73 inches of paracord to make one bracelet, which is quite a lot, isn't it, really, I suppose, but obviously it has its means. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to cut off a length of paracord. We'll go for something like this, that length, and what I'll do is I'll show you the makings of one. So let's get the old knife out. Paracord's just gone in my coffee as well, make it a bit more tasty. So I'll cut that off there. Right, it's a good idea as well that once you've cut the paracord, obviously to seal up the end, all right, because obviously it starts to feed, you know, it doesn't fray, but what will tend to happen is this kind of construction is what's called kern mantle. Okay, so the kern of the strands that's actually inside the paracord, and the mantle is the sleeve that surrounds the strands inside. They're normally 5, 7, or if you've got any of that real fancy stuff with the fire stuff in it and all that, it'll have probably a few more. All right, so just get yourself a lighter and stick that on the end. And it depends how sadistic you are, if you want to sort of pinch it on the end, or just let it sort of go cool on itself. All right, just give it a little squash together, and then all it'll do, it'll bind the sleeve and the strands together. All right, stop it from fraying out. Now, once you've got your paracord, your suitable length that you want, what I'll do is I'll for demonstration purposes, I'll attach it to the handle of my wildlife hatchet. Right. So what we're going to do now, I'm basically just going to put the axe in my between my naked legs. Okay, pass one of the ends through. Okay, and then you want the ends to be both of equal length. Okay, like so. All right. Then what you do, depending on how long you want it, now obviously because of the strings that I've got here, what we're going to do is we're just going to fold it over, and we're going to start it something about there. Right, so we've got all that to play with. Right, now what you need to do, right, first of all, is on the left you've got you've got this strand that's looped over your finger. Now all you do is you form that into a loop, okay, like so. Okay, so it goes behind itself. All right, so I'll show you that again from kind of your sort of view if I can. All right, so that goes behind there like so. All right, so let's turn it back onto me a second. So once you've formed that loop, okay, all that happens is now the other one passes over the top, it comes round, it goes through the front and through that loop there. I really do apologise if my hands are in the way of all this, because obviously it's quite difficult to show on the camera. And then just pass it through. All right, and then tidy it up so that it doesn't kind of pinch the underneath it, so it doesn't run off. All right, now if you were going to do a cobra stitch, what you would do now is you'd alternate it, so the one on the right would now go behind your strands, or in your case it'd look like it'd go in the front. Let's do it that way, so it's as if you were doing it the same way as me. So that one would go like so, and then the front one would then come round the front, that would go round the back and pass through there, and then you would pull it tight. Okay, then you would pull that one tight. But because we are making a twist, all you're going to do is I started the loop on the left side, so you're just going to continue putting the loop on the left side. Okay, so it'll be like this, so it's like that. Okay, then that loop again will come down, it will go behind the two strands that are hanging down. The one on the right will then come over and go through there, and then pull it tight. Okay, and then you do the same again, form a loop there, that one will come underneath round the front, it will go through there, and then pull it tight. And then you keep doing that. I'll do it for a few times and then you'll start to see the stitch form. Okay, so the strands go behind the two that are obviously, you know, run through your axe handle, or the or your cup, or whatever it is you're going to use, and then you pull it through. And then as you can see already, it's starting to form. You're starting to get that little twist. All right, so what I'll do now is I'll try and show it to you from as if you guys were so it goes behind there like so. No, I can't do it. I'm really that really, I don't want to screw it up, so unfortunately folks, I'm gonna have to show you it this way. So anyway, so this one, I'll tell you what, I'll put the camera in my mouth, all right, I won't talk, and then I'll try and show you it from this way. As that might be better for you. All right, so bear with me, my Steven Spielberg prowess. I'm just going to do a little bit of a... Right, I was doing it as a time lapse, so that ain't going to work. It was because I had it in my mouth. Right, so we've got, so this is how it would look as if you were doing it the same as me. So we've got the two ends there. So this one, because you've started on the length, goes behind there like so. Okay, then this one comes behind, around the front and through the loop there. All right, and then we pull it tight. Okay, so same again, it carries on, it goes behind. This one goes behind the strand that's come behind the two that are hanging down. And then passes through there like so. And I'll show you once more. Right, so you can see our twist has started to form there. Right, so this stray bit goes behind there like so. That bit goes underneath, comes round the front and through the loop, and then pull it tight. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off now, and then I'll show you what to do when you get to the end. Okay, so I'll show you again. Alright, it will twist around a little bit, the cord. So remember, this one goes behind the two that are hanging down, that are behind my thumb. Then this one goes behind there like so, comes around the front and then passes through the loop. Okay, and then we pull it tight. Right, and then we'll do it. We're slowly getting to the end now. We're starting to run out of paracord. I'll leave that now. So now to finish it off, you can do one or two things with it. Right, you can do one or two things with it. You can either, the two ends now, you could either cut them down, okay, quite flush, okay, and then melt the end and then press it against a bit of the solid paracord. Or the other option is to cut them to the desired length so that they both meet, so that the ends, both the ends meet, okay, and then what you do is you strike your lighter and then melt those two together. Personally, I like sort of cutting them off there and putting them flush against the solid bits of paracord, just because it kind of looks a little bit nicer. All right, so there you go, folks. That's a cobra stitch, or a twisted cobra stitch. I don't know if that's the proper name for it, but that's what I'll go with. All right, it's a twisted cobra stitch, and as you can see, it forms quite a nice sort of fancy little accessory cord to attach to your, you know, for this example, it'll be on my axe. I mean, I'll take this off there because I was only using it for demonstration purposes. But as I say, you can make small ones for your mugs. Or if you've got loads, you can make a massive one for your kapilka if you're using a kapilka. Or like me, I've got one that attaches to my my Nomad knife. Okay. Crikey, do you imagine me trying to show you how to do that with these steampunk glasses on? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them over the lens of the camera and you'll see what I'm seeing when I've got them on. Right, here goes. So watch this space. Let's flick them on. Let's put one over the lens. And that's kind of what you're seeing. Yeah, so that's what you're seeing. And like, people buy these glasses and walk down the streets of them. I mean, my boy had them. He bought them when we went to Covent Garden one time. Sorry, Covent Garden, Spitalfields Market, I think it was. Or one of the markets, I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, he bought these glasses. And yeah, so a bit of fun value there. So anyway, so there's a twisted cobra stitch. Have a go of it. If you've got, you know, if you've got stray bits of paracord and all that sort of stuff, you know, you'll start adorning your cups and such like with with paracord. And it hasn't got to be just paracord. You can use any cordage you like, you know. But there it is. All right, so I've actually got another one. Just looking at this, the little fire steel that I use that I've been sort of using in the shed. This one, and as you can see, it's got a bit of elastic band on it. Let's take the elastic band off, and there's a little. That's the actual sort of. Oh, I've just dropped it on the floor. And that's the actual cobra stitch that's attached to this little ferro rod, along with a scraper. Oh, it's a bit dirty now, really, but does the job though. Yeah, so you get the picture with the cobra stitch or twisted cobra stitch. If you were going to do a normal cobra stitch, then as I say, like I said earlier, you would alternate the loops, okay, that go behind the two bits of strands or two lengths that hang down. All right, but if you obviously just want to do it on the one side with the demonstration that I was showing you with the cobra stitch, I actually like the twisted cobra stitch better. I think it looks nicer, and obviously you get that twisted form. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm actually changing my mind. I might just leave that on there just for the crack. I don't really know. It's not going to get in the way it's not going to get in the way or anything, is it? Just personalises your own stuff, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'll probably leave that on now. So well, while you're here in front of the camera, I'm not going to actually demo this one too much, but I'm just going to get my little knife. Fucking dog, move! He's sat on the bloody dog. So I'll put that on there. Just use that stump as my means as a cutting block right now. So I'm going to cut that off. Sometimes, dog, you don't know which side your bread's bad. then as you can see there, I've cut it reasonably flush. There's that the old lighter on it, so it starts to melt the mantle, the sheath, and the kern on the mid, the kern strands in the middle, and the mantle on the outside. And then all you do is literally just squash it onto a solid piece of the paracord, and it should act, it kind of glues to it. Let's do the same again with the other one. I'm going to do this one out of the camera. Alright, so pull that through ever so slightly. Finally get that lighter on there, heat up that cord. Yeah, and then once it's done, literally just squash it on there. And then you've kind of just tidied up the loop. Yeah, so there we go. So I will leave it on there, why not? Alright. Right, you lovely people, so we'll leave that one at that for today. So there it is. Alright, so there's a little project for you to be getting on with out in your garden or out in your shed or whatever during these times. And let us know how you get on. I hope that sort of my sort of Steven Spielberg prowess has kind of portrayed it enough for you to be able to follow it. As I say, if not, there's probably a damn sight better videos out there showing you how to do it. But there it is. Alright, so that's the Cobra twist or the Cobra stitch. Alright, so thanks for watching, folks. Please stay safe. Don't forget to check out the podcast if you haven't already done so. It seems to be creeping up now with listeners. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please join the madhouse. I really just do take a bit of a I do like to try and have a bit of fun with my outdoor and bushcraft skills and such like stuff and knowledge or whatever, or my lack of knowledge maybe, but whatever. And that's it, folks. So please stay safe, both yourselves and your family. Des Cattys signing out. I'll see you on the flip side, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. All right, so take care, folks. All the best. Des Cattys signing out.